Hello there, my name is Rhett Downing and I'm a master's student in mass communication with a strong research focus in communication studies and interpersonal relationships. Today we're going to be analyzing a very brief video clip from Creed 3. So I've seen the movie before and I've seen this clip and I think it's a fantastic portrayal of human arguments. I say that like I'm an alien, but you get what I mean. I think it's a great portrayal of arguments outside of a textbook definition healthy way to handle it, which I'll add, but let's play it. Let's go, baby.
Is there something else you want to tell me? Dee, you have got to open up at some point. I don't know what else to tell you. I need to understand what is going on.
Some sad story? You trying to feel sorry for me or something?
No, I don't want to feel sorry for you. I want to understand you. I want to know what is going on with you in my house.
There's nothing to talk about. I don't want to talk about anything. I've been trying to forget it. It's dead. Leave it. Let it lie. I'm not talking about that shit no more.
Like I said, accurate portrayal, or a more accurate portrayal. So we see a spike in anger, and he stands up, resulting in the exact same reaction. A spike in anger, and raising your voice, changing your tone. Even from the beginning, you could tell his wife was a little frustrated with him. She couldn't get to him. I want to understand you. But that's not something he wants to talk about. Now, if anything, it's decent communication. It's not decent. It's good outside of the realm of raising your voice and standing up. Right? Because those reactions can be quite scary. Seeing your partner stand up and seeing their facial expressions change into anger or hostility. Because that's when it's easy to get defensive. I mean, he was defensive because he didn't want to talk about something that was really, really deep-rooted. So, let's continue watching.
You figure out your shit, Dee. Because what cannot happen is her seeing you like this. Do you understand?
That's all I wanted to show us. Now, what's really cool about this clip is that she understands there's something unresolved within him. She also understands that she's not going to get to him. She's not going to be the one who resolves it. He needs to resolve it. I think this speaks a lot, honestly. So some of the things we may not want to go over or think about in our own heads, maybe we ought to bring them up voluntarily and try and resolve them on our own. It's also cool that he signs "I love you" to his daughter, saying another way of saying everything's going to be okay, on top of that he loves her, obviously. So we see spike for spike. That's what I like to call it. Spike in anger causes spike in anger or hostility, however you'd like to chalk it up. So this is a little bit more human. People yell at each other. People get defensive. Sometimes people push a little too much, even if it's coming from a good place. They're husband and wife. She wants to understand him. Now, here's where things get rocky. This can play into macho type stuff. Just in the same stretch, we might classify high EQ as feminine, because typically women have higher EQ, right? So sometimes when it comes to arguments, people want to be macho. So those things you got to play by ear. I don't think I'm going to give any advice. Now, in this clip, we don't see the two sit down and talk about it. But we can assume that he resolves whatever's going on in the movie. I say we assume. Y'all can assume if you haven't seen it. I've seen it. And that's the point. Trying to resolve something that's deep-seated and that causes a lot of distress. And in this moment, they're likely just lashing out at each other. She might be upset because he's not opening up, and he's upset that she's prying about it when he knows he wants to bury it. So yes, I want to go back to that macho example. I'll say it this way. Sometimes there are times when being macho is good. I like the term macho. But let's add a stronger connotation to it. Stoic. There are times when stoicism might be required. And there are times when you might want to open up to your wife, or husband for that matter, your partner. Play those moments by ear. Let's try and think of some examples. Someone wants you to open up, but it hurts. Whatever is hurting you probably has a good reason that it's hurting you. So it's going to be hard. Now, you don't have to tell your partner everything. But what you might want to do is be honest. That's not something I want to talk about. But I promise I'll try and resolve it. If anything, maybe seeking help is the answer. Therapy is pretty cool, I've heard. Especially from class. A lot of my friends are becoming therapists. It's pretty wild. I can see why they have jobs, by the way. Trying to keep it in the context of this video and with this interconnected relationship here, I think this was handled relatively well. Perfect world is taking out the screaming and the yelling and the nonverbal communication that was going on during that, the tenseness and defensiveness. Other than that, I think it was handled relatively well, because even if you'll see here, they end up separating at the end too. So it's likely that their tension is going to drift away as they've separated, and doesn't require separating by hundreds of miles. Just go to different rooms. That, my dear friends, is all I have for us. So I'm going to see you all in the next video, because it's going to be a good one. Thanks for watching.